willing to engage to find out, because, you know, blah to that. Such a grindy experience getting those done. Let's keep those relations going, shall we? Livonia continues to be eaten up. And that spy network in Sweden lets us get rid of that unbalanced research malice. Beautiful, just beautiful. And very soon I'll be able to switch away from this, probably to dip, because dip is what I'm hurting for. Might seem kind of odd to ever focus on dip. It's one of those things that people would just be like, why? But that's the beauty of this game. So many different ways to play. Okay, come on Austria, you gotta admit, times are looking grim for you. His war enthusiasm is pretty low at only 8. And yes, I am capped on mill again with no particularly good idea on what to spend it all on. Should have taken those naval ideas. Not sure if I go trade or naval next. But I do know that I am dripping with this stuff and I can't even spend it if I wanted to. Since manpower is definitely what I need to find the best places to actually use this. So where is cheap? You know, the best places to do are really Muscovite places, like Yuriev. I mean, sure, it's a bit more expensive to do it, but looking at it like this, these are all Muscovite lands where I get the fullest out of it all. And I'm not quite caring enough to super micro it, but I do want to find relatively good lands to do it in. It's so foresty around here. Well, these beautiful Muscovite provinces are ripe and ready for me. So I could edict them both and give them both fairly supercharged, yeah, the clergy is around, but so be it. Development cost a go-go, and yeah, the burghers might be able to lend a hand here as well. Give me a minister. And I'd have to make them happier, sadly. They don't demand my land, but I could certainly give it to them if they asked nicely enough. Minsk, Kaching. No, we don't care enough about that. And yeah, I need to make the most of that, so give me a barracks. Oh, hang on, we can have training fields now. Call canny on that barracks. I want a training field. It's probably worth thinking about other places that can have training fields as well. And some of them surprise me. Alright, goodbye money, but hello buildings. We're doing our own version of the barracks defense here. Baton asks how long streams usually last for, because there is no uptime. Well, there is an inbuilt tool for uptime into Twitch, if I'm not mistaken, which I might well be. But no, there's no number to go by here. Oh dear, what have I done? I boosted the clergy too high by giving them that extra development, and now they're all up in my face. And they'll actually not be in my face for much longer, so we don't have to worry about that. I would like to not worry about you though, Austria. Would you kindly remove yourself from my visage? Oh, almost. Well, we'll just keep cracking on our way there then. I guess this is really why I like playing on the very hard mode. You get such big wars that have to be thought through. Occasionally I play on normal mode, especially when I'm at work, and you just crush your way through everything with very little stopping you. I don't like having to rely on big friends like this so much. Not at all. Also, I don't like the way he's moving north with what he's got there. Ongoing battles counting for a lot here, but it looks like an ongoing battle that the Habsburgs win, so that's not good for us. Just need them to kindly sod off. Have a couple of ducats and go away. Have a lot of ducats. No, there's nothing to get him out apparently. And I don't want to waste our time fighting the Italian scum when those are simply hired hands. As Carlos would say, we're just mercenaries, hired hands. If you want answers about Umbrella, you're talking to the wrong guy. And again, I do like getting this. Shouldn't be much for me to core myself here. Offer to give up your core on Hungary with a peace deal in the... Oh, hey, if they would take that, I'd be very happy, because I don't like having it. Revoke my core on Lika. They're not interested, sadly. How about if it came with a huge sack of money? Also not interested. I can't be that friendly with Hungary then. There we go, finally get this scum out of my face. Don't know how we even got 5%. Gors and Treviso occupied by the Ottomans. Wait, what? Oh, blockaded by the Ottomans, of course. Well, away you go. And with that, this war is won. Okay, I mean, there's still the Lübecker involvement. Just how much money do they have to spare us? Oh, sadly they don't have anything to spare us. And I doubt they keep paying us reparations. No. No, they do not. How does he have core in Lika? I had an event because it was an Orthodox province and I am an Orthodox nation occupying it. And its owner was not Orthodox. That's exactly how it works. Now, if you want to go back to Zemplen, by all means take it. This Highland Fort is going to try to stop us for a while. Shifting around later, and it's ours. Could just spread out and take all this. Seems like a reasonable course of action. Seems like low risk. Unless some Lübeckers are just hanging around, that would make my day miserable. Nothing coming. Okay, sadly we were caught by those Swedish devils. So I'm going to improve my relations with you. I'm going to bring you back because you're not going to do anything. The Hansas can fight pretty well, I'll give them that. Now, has he turbo developed his gold mine, I wonder? No, he has not. Sadly, that gold mine can't be mine. It's not Hanseatic. I mean, lots of cities try to claim that they were Hanseatic because there's a certain amount of prestige that comes with that. But let's be honest, they are just posers. Brandenburg, Gib. I know that Lübeck is busy, so... Magdeburg, could you also offer it up? That'll give me another way in here. I can at least scare him off with some almost occupations. I mean, I doubt Lübeck wants out of this war anytime soon. He's just that kind of guy. But occupations and the other thing tend to scare people off a bit. So if I get access through Magdeburg, then we go, well, yes, you're going there. but you are going here, and you guys are going there. Shame we can't get elsewhere. Phew, big war. Drained my manpower like it was going out of fashion. There we go, that's all we need to get you out. Hold on, 24 to 24 is not enough. Why does it think that it is? That's unusual. That's very unusual. Still, whatever gets rid of them. They had no money to give me this time, so I'm not going to complain about that peace deal. And now, Hungary dies. Also, Lithuania is probably going to be super mad even if I do give them these provinces back. But that's okay, it's accountable for. Hungary must really want these guys dead. Yeah, they want a lot of land. Fortunately, they were called in with favors, so I don't have to do any of that. I should start thinking what Lithuania can get back here. However, since Hungary would retain the core if I gave it back directly, maybe I should just do it this way. No, not to Bohemia. And certainly not to Poland. Those are all those Lithuanian cores, correct? Look at that no aggressive expansion we get. Money would be nice, but a lot of it would go to our good friends, the Ottomans. Austrian alliance no longer allowed. That has to end. Just popping in to subscribe in Twitch Prime. Thanks for the hours of entertainment. Even if I only had time for YouTube VODs. Ah, see, now that's exactly how YouTube scrubs can ascend. But it's very appreciated. El Cativo 4711. If you hang around, maybe you could be part of the crew. The FTL crew, of course. Man, it would be so nice to bring Nitra back to the map. I know you're all thinking it. I'm thinking it too. We could have a Nitran march down here, and it would split. Yes, it would split Hungary into pieces. I mean, Krakow is Hanseatic land, right? It can't not be. It goes fairly far south, you see. If I have this, I could release. You know, I wouldn't have to take these ones. I could just take bells. Oh, I need that gold mine, let's be honest. So close to splitting him in half. What's the war score cost of this province? 10%. I mean, we don't really need Ingol, do we? Well, it's Ruthenian, it needs to be mine. Bratislav we could give up. But I mean, Ingol is so small and pathetic and useless in all those other words. I am going to cheese off a lot of people by doing this, but if I can have Nitra spat out as a march of mine, I will just be in love. Nitra should just barely be in the proper land. Nitra will be our march, kind of like our southern border. No need to worry about it. I think by returning it, it's getting more expensive. What if we do just fork it over to Lithuania this way? And it makes sense that it's more expensive to give it and get rid of the core. But the core is not so important that I'm willing to give up quite so much for it. Okay, and then... How's that? Oh, and you know, maybe Hungary can get their own province back. He doesn't deserve favors for all this. And that still lets us get rid of Austria. That's more like it. Don't the Ottomans want Nitro land? Nope. And as long as I'm the one that decides when they go to war with Hungary, they never will. Oh, that's kind of beautiful in its own way. And I can probably take Yetistan. It's an estuary. And it's in the Crimea node that I want to drink anyway. You know, if that's not an amazing peace deal, I don't think I know what is. We're staying true to what we said we'd do. We're taking our culture group. This land won't belong to us forever. We're going to spit it right out. Even if Austria has permanent claims on it, and that's going to break Hungary in half. Downside is that I won't have a border with Poland to subjugate them and get their land back. You know, because this land was all Hanseatic, of course. That's simply beautiful. That's perfection worth demanding, Jake. I'm proud, says Hayar. Yeah, that was a rough war. Glad to put Hungary in their place for forcing me out of that Teutonic war. And it does bundle our land together nicely. Yeah, might as well go for the full 100. Ooh. Yeah, we are not winning over any friendships with that, but hey, it's ours now. Hopefully our subject turbo develops that gold mine, because Nitra is awesome. And we spit out Nitra. I'll force them to go Orthodox later on. Unfortunately, the land is all Catholic. I could invest some time in converting it, but I'm not even going to bother. We can convert them in our own time later on. There we go, it makes our subjects no doubt even angrier. Especially Lithuania. I need to take care of them before their truce with me is up, which is 10 years away. Otherwise, I've got land to core. I do have quite a bit of war exhaustion, but those extra coring costs are quite heavy, actually. I think I'll just give these lands to Lithuania for him to... You know, Lithuania strikes me more of a she as a country than a him. They are my culture, though. And it's some beautiful development. And you know, I've kind of given them all that as well. Nah, why even give it to him? I have the power here. Volhynian separatists would rise up here. That's cute. But no, I can get this inside me right here and now. Aye, that's fine. Okay, that was a fun war, but for now it's over. We need to get ourselves back to civilization. Livonia will be inside us before too long. Nitra is of course a march. I like those extra bonuses they get. And Nitra is not really going to grow any bigger than that. They have all of their culture lands. And you know, that is the shape that Nitra should be. Hopefully they'll turbo develop into the sun as well. Ezel shouldn't revolt on us anymore once that war exhaustion goes away, so too will the Estonians. Convert Perenshil to Orthodox. Yes, it'll make all of our other things easier. Alternatively, conquer Tambov. No, we have no intention of ever taking Tambov. And we know that our manpower is never going to recover. That looks pretty good, actually. Oh well. Can you pay off Lithuanian debt to reduce their liberty desire? Most likely. 614 ducats is not something that I'm going to pay off, though. Look at that liberty desire, that's crazy. Opinion and trust really hurting there. And yeah, I could, but why would I? That's a lot of money to throw at someone who's my food. Speaking of which, they're pretty much... Oh no, there's all that Teutonic Order land to take back. Speaking of, I should really fight the Teutonic Order soon. I feel, despite utterly tapped on manpower, that that's something we could take on, with or without our Otto friends. Well, I mean, there is the fact that we have a truce, but not for much longer. Teutonic Order are the ones we should start beating up next, actually. Even though Russia is a great target, or Muscovy rather. I want those Novgorod cores from Muscovy, and I want those Lithuanian cores from Teutonic Disorder. Tough. Both are very desirable. Is France no more? Well, Savoy decides who exists and who does not. In the Rise of Venice. Perfect. What do you even call that? Wasn't really a trade network down here akin to the Hansa as far as I'm aware. But I mean, there's lots that I'm not aware of, so go figure. Okay, lads, Great War. Jake, paying off that debt is cheaper than fighting in the war if they get support for independence. Nah, because I would just go to war with whoever supports them, and it would probably be the likes of the Teutons. Well, it would be my enemies. Muscovy, Sweden, Hungary, Teutonic Order. I hate them all, and I plan on fighting them all, so bring it on. It would just make my decisions for me, which is no bad thing. Oh, so many cores to take back. I want them all. I shouldn't truly exhaust these favors, though. Realistically, I can only call the Ottomans into one more war. With a bit of luck, they'll call me into one of their wars, and then we can get some happiness that way. But I should also be looking to keep their relations pretty high. You hurt so badly for... And see, there he goes. He goes to war with Timmy. I hate Timmy. Why won't he just call me into war here? Maybe I should say that I want a province off of him, and then he'll go, ah yes, of course, come on in. But it's a province he already wants, so let's not do that. Might make him get rid of that alliance. It's probably distance between borders. He treats me like an AI. Jake, how can you justify not being allowed to ally France, but Otto's is fair game? Why have a rule to not ally France? I just picked a nation, said I'll never do that. I guess the Ottomans do better these days than they ever have in the past. Privileges should probably be earned, but I do quite like getting some extra tax. And yeah, for 20 years as well. Not only that, but the burghers won't like it, but the burghers are fine as it is, so take them. Muscovy would be a relatively easy war, but Teutonic Order would probably be an even easier war. They have Ragusa, who, if I dropped my military access with the Ottomans, they would not be able to get through. Also, why would I worry about them? You're at war with Provence, but that's just because of the Swedish war. East Frisia is not to be worried about either. So yeah, it would be me versus the Teutons, without Hungary enforcing white peace on me again. It's almost, I almost feel bad doing this to Hungary. They did pretty impressively in their own way. Jake, why did you lose dip from number of relations? Why you lose dip from number of relations? You mean why you lose this? Or why I'm specifically losing dip? I had a bunch of military access that I should really be giving up right about now, so thanks for pointing it out. Also, I'm losing debt pretty heavily from that integration. The other one is Magdeburg, who I certainly don't need mill access through anymore. I still really want Lithuania on my side. Outraged towards me, that's just precious. You feel bad? Remember Serbia, Jake. You're right. They're heartless bastards and they deserve what's coming to them. Yeah, man, I cleaned up. Oh, how nice. Nietzsche want to marry me. Nice and young as well. I think we will place a relative of ours on their throne. And then we can marry their nice young Reykjavik. There we go. Still hurts us with legitimacy, however, that'll keep them in their place. Once Livonia is integrated, their relative strength will go way down, because Livonia brings a lot of that to the party. It's a shame though, I would like a lot more states than I have, and being a little principality, I don't get many. Grand Principality, but even Muscovy is still a duchy. They're a Dutch something else, but never mind that. Love for Nietzsche, always a great vassal in my opinion. Well, of course. Ooh, Austria just got their debt paid off by Aragon. Curses. Why would Aragon do that? Tactical genius, but okay. I really hope they develop that gold mine into the sun. They've decreased autonomy across the board, so they don't seem to be scared of rebels. Strong seat of aristocrats. They just decreased it in Spice because why not? Well, because they have big, strong Rostov there to protect them, no doubt. Truce is up with Teutonic disorder. I could, would, and should love to kick them in the face. Got all those Lithuanian cores to get back after all. Wait, was I looking at doing that? That would be so me. East Frisia wouldn't get involved. England are always a bit of a pain in the bum. They've fought Scotland before, but Scotland, oddly enough, remain independent. England have probably just had a long spate of diplomatic rulers who haven't seen fit to conquer Scotland. Either that or they just understand that Scotland is not even worth trying to conquer. Those are a lot of cores I need to take back. But I don't think any of them are going to go anywhere anytime soon. The Belarusian one, we have a long time on. The Lithuanian ones will never go away. And I doubt the Teutonic Order is about to spread the Prussian love. So Muscovy becomes the one we start looking at. If we get Novgorod's cores back, then I can integrate Novgorod and get a whole load of Russian land for myself. Which is pretty delectable. It's not the debt that's a problem, but attitude towards enemies is getting in the way there. That's actually a bit of a problem. I could promise him land, which he would want. And last we checked, he doesn't actually want much land, although he'd probably want all of that. It's cheap though, because it's rubbish, essentially. Still though, the Ottomans would have to finish up their other war most likely, or I just take on Muscovy alone. It's not impossible, hell, it's far from it. But when it comes to force limit, they're still pretty high up on the list and they flaunt 70k of their own. Well, let's stop wasting money on this ridiculous number of forts that I have. We don't have much in the way of devastation, and whatever we do have isn't going to be fixed through forts. Although maybe I should get back to the realm of having manpower again. Can you show Nietzsche's ideas, please? Certainly, they've got economic, defensive, diplomatic, and offensive, but if you mean their national ideas, Slovaks are pretty good. That goods produced is amazing on the gold, infantry combat ability, always love fort defense, admin tech cost -10, inflation reduction, maintenance and garrison size, bleh, infantry cost, Unrest, morale, and production efficiency. It's an amazing set of ideas. Well, okay, they're great. Maybe not amazing. Amazing would be... I would say yuan, but yuan is the best. I think we're going to reenact our whole spying on Sweden routine. Jake, drop your edicts in your lands. Glad somebody's remembering that. Thanks a bunch. Because we certainly don't need these anymore.